Okay, Lauren, fire away.
Right. Okay. So my first question
Mhm.
is, how do you deal with the overthinking process and not stressing about the how you're going to get to your goal?
Good question. I think that's a lot of people's problems, mine included. I am probably one of the biggest overthinkers. Um, it's one of the things that can really stop your creativity. So it's one of those things that if you get in your own head, if you get stuck in your own head, if you're over analyzing and overthinking things too much, then it's going to stop that creative flow. So, what I do is, I just kind of put myself in the place of, um, I take the attention and focus off myself and put it onto others. So, like, how can I help others? What can I say or do here that's going to help them? And that helps really to get me out of my own head. It's not those kind of personal things. It's, oh, what if I say something wrong? What if I'm looking stupid? What if people are judging me? It takes that focus away from kind of who yeah, it takes that focus away from kind of myself and puts it on other people, and all of a sudden that energy, that perception focuses and shifts to somebody else. So that's kind of my main goal, is helping others. So for you with your makeup business, for example, if you're sitting there, you're worried about, oh, what's people going to think about me? I don't have any makeup on that day, and you're worried about people judging you. And that's whenever you're going to start overthinking. That's whenever you're going to start overanalyzing. So if you can kind of again just realign with your purpose, why you're doing it. You're doing it to help people. You're doing it so that you can just improve um, your own kind of like your own techniques. So you're focusing more on being informative and telling people how they can improve their makeup, for example, and all of a sudden that energy shifts. Does that help?
Yep.
Okay.
Um, and this is another one that like I really struggle with. I've spoken to you about it before. Like, how do you like manage to stay motivated all the time and not procrastinate? That's my major
Yeah. Well,
issue.
procrastination generally comes from fear, and you know whether you can be aware of it, like in the conscious part, it's like um if you're, I suppose it relates back to the overthinking thing as well. If you kind of have that fear of criticism, or that fear of judgment, or what other people are going to say, then that can really stifle yourself and your creativity. So for me, being motivated, just I always try and realign with my goal, my main goal, which is to create the mindset coaching business, so that I can actually help others. So if I shift that energy from myself to others, then that's what kind of gives me energy again. That's what gives me passion. It's like, this is why I'm doing it, because I want to help people. So because I've been there myself, especially with giving the talks and the seminars. I'm going to have another one coming up soon as well. I sort of made that decision and I'm going to do it. Just have to finalize the details and the date. But I know myself when I'm putting things off, it's always because of that fear. It's always because um, I'm worried about maybe kind of how it's going to be perceived by others. So that's what motivates me. That's what keeps me going, is staying aligned with my own purpose.
That was a good answer. I like that because
Yeah.
I do find that like I'll get home from work and I'm just going to sit down for a bit and
Mhm.
then it's bedtime. So I think I definitely need to spend more time working on that.
Yeah.
Um, this is a big one for me, which I want to hear what you think on it.
Mhm.
Is like, how do you rise above like negativity from like your friends and your family?
It's a good one, yeah, from friends and family especially. Um, I suppose it doesn't even bother me anymore, because I've trained my mind in a certain way through kind of through repetition, through experience, and through doing it so many times that through learning all this process that it doesn't really bother me anymore. At the start, thinking back, I was massively worried about what people would say and what people were actually again have. It all comes down to those fears, overcoming those kind of personal fears, because you're worried about what other people are going to say or think or judge you. And from your friends and your family especially, they're obviously big people in your life, so that fear is almost amplified as well. But I think you know there's two things. It's the first one is like the people who actually genuinely care about you will want to see you do well, will want to see you progress. And if it's someone like your friends or your family that's, oh, don't do that, you can't leave your job, you can't quit your job, it's a stable job, what are you going to do for money? It's almost coming from a place of them caring about you as well. They don't know what you know now. They're not learning all this information about setting these big massive goals and just aligning yourself with that and actually trying to make something of yourself, which is going to take a certain element of risk at times as well. But they don't really understand that. They're not taught this information that you've learned, and you've got to see it from that point of view as well. It's they just don't understand really, and they're just worried about you. They just care. If it's friends, at the start, whenever I was getting all into this mindset coaching, your friends, your close friends, will kind of make fun of you about it. But you kind of just after a while, if you stay true to what you're doing, it's like then the acceptance comes. Then they kind of realize, oh, that's just him. People will always try and resist change. You see, people will always try and keep you the way that they perceive you in their head. It's like they don't want you to change just in case just in case you leave them or they don't see you as much. So it's almost kind of coming from that idea of they're worried as well. But if you stay true to what you're doing, all of a sudden those people that have that doubts about you, or those people that kind of maybe give you negativity, will all of a sudden start to see, oh, that's just her, that's what she's doing, she's following her passions, she's following her goals. And then they'll start to support you, then they'll start to encourage you. Then all of a sudden you'll get messages, oh, I love what you're doing, I think it's brilliant. So have you
Yeah.
got that yourself?
Yeah, and do you know what? I find it really hard because I'm female, and unfortunately, there's not a lot of support, to put it nicely.
Mm-hmm.
But I have noticed a few people have tried to come back and say, what I'm doing is good,
Yeah.
but they were the first people to
Yeah.
try and put me down.
Yeah.
Really?
You'll always get that resistance from the closest people to you, which is going to be your friends and your family. But again, one of the things that you're learning is that, you have to have that self-belief in yourself well before anybody else does, well before it, because you'll be doing all this stuff and you'll get people doubting you. You'll get people not actually, not seeing how much you're driven by this, how much it's actually your purpose and how much like energy and passion and drive it gives you. But you have to have that self-belief and stay true to that self-belief until all of a sudden people start shifting and seeing that's who you are, and then they'll start supporting you. So have that self-belief in yourself well before anybody else does. You have to almost, you prove it to yourself that you can do it by actually just being consistent with it. And then all of a sudden down the line, they'll start to have that belief in you as well, and they'll start to encourage you. You start to get more followers, and you start to get more awareness because you're constantly putting out these videos. It's like whenever I put out videos at the start, sometimes it doesn't get massive attention, but it takes a while for you to grow up your customer base. It takes a while for actually the people to relate to you, especially outside of the friends and family and the public and people who don't really know you that well. It takes a while for them to kind of be able to get that relationship and see who you are and what you're about. And that only comes from like constantly putting yourself out
Yeah.
there. So don't never focus on, you know, the likes, or never focus on how well it does. Do it because you want to do it, you know. And if you kind of keep that mentality of this is what I want to do, this is what I enjoy doing, you know, you'll keep doing it. You know, you'll keep doing it, and eventually, people, you know, there's always people in the shadows that's watching what you're doing.
Yeah.
They mightn't like your stuff, or they mightn't comment on your videos, but then, you know, you'll get a message down the line, oh, I've been watching your stuff for a while, and I think it's brilliant. So again, it's, I guess if there's anything that, one main message from this is, you know, shifting your perception and focus from yourself, and just keep doing it because you want to help other people. You know, you've got this this gift that you want to give to others. And for me, that's kind of learning. I'm fascinated with the mind. I'm fascinated with psychology, and fascinated with being able to actually help other people to alleviate suffering. So that's kind of what I stay true to. That's what kind of my focus is on, and that's what kind of that's what drives me. I love doing it. I enjoy doing it. So I never focus on how other people kind of perceive me yet. I just focus on just putting out this information. You know, it's going to help people. The better you get at it, the more people you're going to help down the line. But um, stay true, stay aligned to yourself and your purpose, and you know, it's longevity. It's you know, it's not a get rich quick scheme. It's not, oh, you do a certain couple of things here and then you're going to get all this money and success. It's about this, you know, passion, which you're probably going to do for a long time, for many years. So if you enjoy doing that, if you love it, then you'll keep on putting out the videos, or you know, your makeup tutorials. Then you start to get to grow your fan base as well. But it takes time, so just stay true to yourself and what it is that you're passionate about, and then the success will come from that.
Awesome.
Cool. Cool. Well, that's it. Unless there's anything else that you want to ask or add to?
Nope, I don't
No.
have any more questions.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Lauren. I appreciate the call. Um,
Thank you.
Thanks to those who are watching this video. If you have any questions you just want to ask me, I can do video responses, or I can reply privately in messages. So reach out.